Good afternoon, guys.
Afternoon.
Chip, as a staff, why did you guys feel like it was better for Jackson Powell Johnson to play right guard and Jordan Meredith to play center?
Because Jordan did a better job in preseason camp at playing center for us in terms of what we want call-wise, putting us in the right protections, doing all those things. I think Jordan's what you're looking for in the center in this league. He reminds me a little bit, I'm not going to say he is, but he reminds me a lot of Jason Kelsey that I had when I was in Philly. He's got a long way to go. Jason's a Hall of Famer. He's that type of player. We're really excited about what Jordan's doing at center.
Jackson hasn't played the last 2 games. What did you miss without him out there? What are you hoping? What are you getting back when he does come back?
He's a bigger body, so and I think that's one reason why he's a better guard. He's built more like a guard than he is like a center. Jordan's built a little bit more like a Kelsey, an athletic guy, pull, get out in space, all those other things. Jackson is a tough, hard nose. There's a lot of big 3 techniques in this league, so to have how do you handle a guy at the 3 techniques? So having a bigger body at the guard spot is what he is, and his toughness is always a positive to what we're doing.
You've only had 1 game with that 5-man group that you guys broke camp with.
One of the 3.
Yeah, one of the 3 exactly. Are you not excited necessarily, but curious to see what that looks like, and give us some time for that?
Yeah, that's just what this league is all about. You better have some depth. We're fortunate we have an extra guard and Alex has played a lot of really good football in this league, so we feel like we have 3 guys that can play guard. And so you're going to get tested. Everybody, I don't think anybody's had the same lineup in every single game so far in the 3 games in this season in the NFL, so that's just part of it. So you hope you can keep your players. And we have a pretty healthy team, to be honest with you. I lost Lonnie, is about the only guy we lost in preseason camp. Besides that, it's just been a one-off in a game here or there. So, but this game through the 17-game season is going to test you from an attrition standpoint.
So is it just a continuity thing that has had the offensive line kind of struggle just because they haven't played together
Yeah,
consistently?
and I think it's the defenses right now. If you look at statistically, Ashton's tied for 10th in the league for carries. With 2 other guys. So of the top 12 backs in the National Football League right now through 3 games, there's only 4 guys that average over 4 yards a carry. So Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Bijan Robinson, and there's one more, and Cook from Buffalo. Everybody else, Saquon Barkley averages 3.3 yards a carry. McCaffrey averages 3 yards a carry. So Ashton's right in the bunch with those guys right now. I think across the league through the first 3 games, the defenses are ahead of the offenses right now in the NFL, and at a big rate, like not till like 2007 or something, when you go back to the amount of total offense for offenses through the first 3 games is the lowest it's been in about 15 or 20 years. So that's just, and that's this league. Sometimes the defenses are ahead, and then the offenses catch up, and then it goes back and forth, and that's just the nature of this game. But when you look across the league, and some really good backs, and it's surprising me today, Saquon's got like 60 carries, but he has 3.3 yards a carry, and that's a good offensive line, that's a good back, it's a Super Bowl champion team, hell of a coaching staff, so I think it's throughout the league that there's a lot of the defense is doing a good job. Now, that doesn't mean that's just what we say. We've got to do a better job. We're doing a really good job in the passing game right now, but we've got to do a better job in the running game.
I was going to bring that up because the numbers are down, like you said, kind of dramatically. So, it feels like it would have to be more than just the defenses are ahead of the offense right now. Maybe schematically or an intention that defensive coordinators.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are trying to take away the line. You're playing more guys closer to the line of scrimmage, and if you're going to do that, they're not dummies. You're going to throw the ball. Say, all right, if you're going to keep that many people at the line of scrimmage, then there are opportunities. You look at Trey Tucker's, one of the reasons Trey's been such a great weapon for us is the speed he has. So if people are going to play everybody close to the line of scrimmage and play one-on-one coverage, well, then a guy like Trey can operate. You look at his day the other day, and that's part of it. I know he's in year 3 or 4 here, but the one thing when I got here and watched him run and how he practices, it's like if people are going to really try to take away the run, then you got to have some weapons on the outside that can be one-on-one coverage. And we're fortunate right now that we have a couple guys from him and Jacoby and Brock that can do that right now.
Would you like to see Ashton get more involved in the passing game?
I would like to see Ashton have 75 catches on the season. So, that's just part of the nature of it. But I think Gino's getting the ball out. He's completing a really high rate of passes, and I think, getting the ball to Tuck, getting the ball to Brock, getting the ball to Jacoby and all those other guys, he's taken what it's given. So a lot of times, sometimes if your back is in protection, he may be the 4th or 5th option, but we don't want him to bypass 1, 2, and 3 to get the ball to the back. So
going back to Trey, what was it that maybe you guys saw that wasn't seen before that unlocked him a little bit this year?
I wasn't here, so I can't comment on anything. I just know from the day when we got here and we got out there in OTAs, his speed was evident to me, and I told him that the unique thing about him is that there are some guys that are fast, but they're like combine fast, you know. So they ran a really fast time at the combine, but then when you get to practice, you don't really notice them. Like from OTAs on, I felt him on the field. Like you feel him running by people and separating from people and running. And the one thing I'll give him credit for, I've mentioned it in a meeting to our entire group, but it is the way he practices is the way he's playing right now. So I think he practices at a really, really high level, and I'm a firm believer, and I didn't make this up, but it's you sink to your level of training. You don't rise to the occasion on game day, and Trey sinks to his level of training, but his level of training is at a really, really high level now, as good as I've seen, and that's all the credit goes to him 100%. If he continues to train at that really high level, I believe he's going to play at that really high level. So I think for the people in this building that have been here since we've been here as a staff aren't surprised at his production, just because that's what he does every day in practice. So, you know, knock on wood, we'll continue to keep that going with him, because it's a really good weapon to not allow people to gang up on the run game if you have a guy like that is that explosive outside to go along with Brock and Jacoby. So, you know, it's that was a big thing going into. We knew Jacoby and his ability, and obviously has demonstrated in this league. Brock's ability in his rookie year demonstrated in this league, but now you add another weapon out there, and then all of a sudden maybe that starts to loosen some things up. So
DJ Glaze is the guy that's been really steady since he was inserted in the starting lineup. He kind of had a rough day at the office on Sunday. Is that just one of those days you chalking up, or do you see something on film?
I think it's part of who you played against too. I think there was that was a really good front when you play against the Redskins. That's, you know, DQ does such a good job with his front, and they had some players there. And Von Miller's been in the league for a long time, and Von's got a Hall of Fame career, you know. And I think that's just kind of what it is sometimes. And then schematically, there's sometimes, do we slide that way, or did we not give enough help to that side? That can be part of it too. But you know, we're really pleased with DJ and excited about what he's going to be able to do this Sunday.
Gino's talked to us about being patient and taking what the defense gives them. Is that the same for the play caller when, you know, you want to have a big explosive play, but you got to also be patient?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I don't think when you call, no matter who it is, if you call for an explosive play, it's not everybody run deep, 5 guys go to the goalpost and throw it up. It's a layered effect. Someone's going deep, someone's going at the second level, and someone's in your check down area, so that depending on how they deploy themselves, if they got more guys to the front, then you get a chance to throw the ball over their heads. But if they're going to back up and let you throw the ball in front of them, then you have to take those throws too. So I think Gino did that. I thought Gino played really well last Sunday against the Redskins. Really did a great job in the pocket, and then keeping plays alive. The extended plays that he made, I think, kept some of our drives alive and gave us a shot there to get close there in the fourth quarter.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
guys.